Satan's little season. Are we living in it now? There is a phrase buried in the final book of the Bible. 3 words, easy to miss, easy to skip past on the way to more famous verses about beasts and trumpets and seals. A little season. Revelation chapter 20 tells us that after 1,000 years, Satan will be loosed from his prison for a little season. Not forever, not for a moment. A season, a defined stretch of time with a beginning and an end. The question that has haunted theologians for 2,000 years is simple. Has that season already started? Revelation 27-8 says that when the 1,000 years are finished, Satan will be released from his prison, and he will go out to deceive the nations. Deceive, not destroy outright, not announce himself with fire from the sky. Deceive quietly, patiently, through confusion dressed up as clarity. Theologians have argued for centuries about when this little season begins. Some place it entirely in the future. Others believe the binding and loosing described in this chapter are symbolic, not a single future event, but a pattern that has echoed through history again and again. And if that's true, if this isn't a one-time event but a recurring pattern, then the real question isn't, will it happen? It's, are we in it right now? Those who believe we are living inside this season point to a pattern, not one sign, but a convergence. First, the erosion of shared truth, a world where entire populations can be shown the same event and walk away with irreconcilable versions of what happened. Deception at scale has never been cheaper or faster to spread. Second, the normalization of moral inversion, the sense felt across very different cultures at once that categories once considered fixed are being quietly redrawn. Third, the speed of global connection itself. For the first time in human history, a single deceptive idea can reach billions of people in the time it takes to read this sentence. If deception is the primary weapon of this season, then the infrastructure for global deception has never existed before until now. None of these, on their own, prove anything, but those who study prophecy rarely look for a single sign. They look for convergence, for multiple threads pulling tight at the same historical moment. To be fair, and a serious investigation has to be fair, this is far from settled. Many respected theologians reject the idea that we're in any such season at all. They argue the little season is a specific future event tied to the literal 1,000-year reign described earlier in the chapter, something that hasn't happened yet by any measure. Others argue that every generation for 2,000 years has looked at its own chaos and concluded the end must be near, and every generation before us was wrong. That history of false alarms is worth sitting with. It's the strongest argument against any claim of we are the ones living in it. Here's what almost nobody argues about, regardless of timeline. The text describes deception as the primary weapon, not violence, not open war. Deception, which means the practical question isn't really when, it's how do I recognize it if it's already here? And that's a question worth asking, whether the little season started yesterday or won't start for another 1,000 years. Whether this season has already begun or is still locked behind a door yet to open. The warning embedded in these 3 words hasn't expired. A little season, defined, limited, but real. The text doesn't tell us the exact date it starts. It just tells us to watch. Want